just got off the phone with the girl who loves you too. Said you're working.
What's up to all my lovely people out there? Welcome to episode 2 of Quoted by Tiff. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in, and today this show is going to be a little bit of a treat. You know, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Everybody's going to be booed up. So I thought, what a perfect time to talk about dating, right? But we're not going to talk about like the good side of dating per se. We're going to talk about the dark side of dating, because I feel like in this day and age, like the age of social media, people get all caught up in like, I guess, the aesthetics of a relationship instead of the work it takes to put into dating and finding somebody to be in a relationship with. So we're going to talk about the bit of a dark side. It's kind of funny because I'm going to share my dating experience with some of them. And, you know, I just want to talk about red flags, green flags. And quick disclaimer, I'm a person that when I talk, I'm talking about men and women. I shouldn't have to say that, but I feel like I need a disclaimer because, you know, it's always a lot of tension. It's always this big man versus woman thing. But FYI, I'm talking about men as well as women. This advice can apply to anybody, honestly. So, without further ado, let's get it poppin'. Okay, y'all. So, let's talk about standards. You know, I don't really like that word, but that's what everybody else said. I call it requirements. So I'm going to say requirements just for the sake of my sake. Okay, requirements. I think that a lot of people don't have requirements when it comes to dating. So for example, and I'm just going to be candid, y'all. Like, it's a lot of guys that will try to rush you in the bedroom, and women too. Some women do it too. But what's happening is you're having like one night stands and stuff, and that's kind of poisoning the dating pool, because now that's what, when I meet a guy, you know, that's what he's going to expect, and I'm not about to do that anyway. So I think everybody needs standards. Standards are something, everything in the world has standards, whether we know it or not. And I think standards is what keep things orderly. Personally, me, I don't like things that are not like orderly. So I feel like standards help me kind of define what I want out of something, whether it's a person, a situation, whatever. So standards, y'all get them, because the quality is down here, but I don't think it's necessarily because like anybody's bad, like everybody's a bad partner. I think that people don't have rules. Rules are what keeps people in order, because there are some people that can function without rules, and there are some people that need structure in their life. So just to have standards is something that everybody needs in the dating world, personally. Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Dating apps, y'all. Okay, so I grew up like in the early 2000s. I was a teenager in the early 2000s. So we didn't have we had like chat lines. Let's talk about that. We had like chat lines, you know. You call up the chat line, you record your little greeting, you know, you talk to somebody. They never used to look how they sounded. They would sound so good on the phone. Like, but then when you meet up or, you know, things like that, you'd be like, oh no, they look nothing like. So it was we was being risky back then on the chat line, y'all. So it evolved over to MySpace. You know, MySpace was a bit more like, okay, I can see pictures. I know it's this person. That's before like catfishing people became like a real thing. But then when people start pretending to be other people on social media, then that's where kind of the catfishing came in. But I think that I said all of that to say we have all of these expectations of people and what we want people to be and how they need to be and how they need to come in our lives and, you know, what they need to have. Sometimes the things that we need and want don't come in the packages that we think they should come in. It's been plenty of things like jobs, opportunities that I've kind of like tried to manifest, and I manifested them, but they just didn't come in the way that I thought they would. Now, they were still, you know, blessings, but sometimes you can't pay attention to how something comes to you. You have to just go for it. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know, you never know what your opportunity is. And if you look over the one, usually it's the things that you look over that you're supposed to have in your life. And that's coming from my personal experience. I've looked over a lot of people in my past, and they probably were the best option for me, but I just didn't go for them for whatever reason. I'm a person that believes that everything happens for a reason. So if I didn't go for them, it was for a reason. But at the same time, you know, they came in a package that I really didn't like, so I didn't pay any attention to it. So guys and girls, when you meet people, vet them for yourself first. Before, yeah, you know, some of us are visual creatures. We have to see how something looks before we approach it. But don't be shallow. Talk to somebody, because attraction can come in all forms. It can come in intelligence. You could be attracted to somebody's intelligence. And I'm a person that believes that the outer, you can change the outer. You can lose weight. You can gain weight. You can do whatever to your body, make yourself change. But the inside you can't change. You are who you are. So that's why it's best to get to know people first. I don't think that's like advice that's bad. I think that's advice that's like, okay, yeah, you're right. Even though I know some of y'all ain't gonna do it, but still, you know? Okay, y'all. This is a personal dating story, okay? This is real. Like, it's gonna sound so made up and crazy, y'all, but I promise it's real. So, I had started dating this guy, right? I met him, I think I met him in like Chick-fil-A or something. I don't remember. But that's crazy. I said I don't remember because I really don't. But met him at somewhere, restaurant, somewhere out and about. And he was like, oh, I want to take you on a date. I want to take you out. You know, he sounded pretty smart. You know, I vet people beforehand. I just, you know, throw out little questions just so I can see where you're headed, you know, what type of person you are. And he passed my initial check marks. He had passed my initial check boxes. So I was like, okay, sure, let's go out on a date. Cool. Everything was cool. So we opted to go out to the movies. Personally, I love movies. Like, I want to make my own movie one day. I love movies. So I was like, okay, like anybody that invited me to the movies, I'm like, okay, cool. I like watching movies. So, and he was trying to impress me, like buying all like the movie theater food. You know, don't worry about it. I'm a mama, y'all. So me and my kids be taking our snacks to the movies. You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to impress me, I could tell, but I didn't say nothing. You know, I kind of let people move how they want to move. It's fine. And we watched the movie. Everything was cool. So I was like, okay, cool. This is nice. You know, he's like, I want to see you again. I want to take you out again. I was like, okay, cool. Fast forward. Took me out the second time. We went out to eat. And we went like just on a stroll through downtown Dallas on a stroll. And all of a sudden, somebody walks up to him and they were like, I'm not going to say his name, but they called his name. And he tried to act like he didn't hear it. So they called him again louder. So me, I'm like, you don't hear that girl calling your name? So she calling your name? Oh, she calling my name? What I believe is that he knew who it was. And he knew if he answered, then it was going to be some mess. So he was like, go ahead and go inside of the restaurant or whatever. I'll be in there in a minute. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm already knowing something up. So I go inside the restaurant or whatever, but I'm still being nosy. I'm looking out the window. So he arguing with the girl or whatever. I can tell by the hand motions that they're arguing. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So me personally, I get up, I go outside. All I heard was, "I'm your baby mama." It was loud. It was loud. Everybody, it was just, y'all, it was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. And he looked at me. I'm looking at both of them like, what's going on? And he like, "This is my baby mama. You know, she not a bad person. I didn't even give this man a chance to get out the story. I literally walked the other way. I had parked all the way down the street. I think it's parked down Elm Street or something. Parked all the way down the street. Y'all, I walked right back to my car and left. That was so embarrassing. Like, but that's what I mean by, you see how we went on one date. And the one date was good. It was cool. We was vibing. And so he was like, okay, the second date. But the second date, that's when I seen like, oh, okay. That's why the dating part of a relationship is necessary. Because it allows you to see who somebody is. And it only took me 2 dates to see who that was. I didn't waste much time. You know, I get heated when I waste too much time, but I didn't waste that much time. I'm thankful that I seen it, you know, firsthand before I jumped right in, you know. But you live and you learn, right? I think all of my bad experiences has helped shape my dating life. It's helped to shape my dating life. I really, really do. Y'all, that was an embarrassing day. I have so many more like that, but that's just one that stood out because he didn't even know what to say. Y'all, he didn't even know what to say. He was like, "This is my baby mama," but he was just stuttering. And I was like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. I just left him right there stuttering. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I walked the other way back to my car. And that was crazy, y'all. My life should be a movie because the things that happen, listen, it's only things that you see in the movie. Okay, so before I leave you guys today, I want to talk about red flags and green flags, maybe. I don't know, like, I feel like that's overused in society anyway. Like, that's a red flag, that's a red flag. Personally, red flags are subjective, for one. I feel like everybody's red flags are different. You know what I mean? So, for example, one of my red flags is if we're supposed to be having an intellectual conversation and you immediately kind of change the subject to something else that you may know about, or you pretend that you know about something that I know about to try to impress me, but I really know about it. That's a red flag to me because that makes me feel like, okay, why are you faking? I don't like when people are not being themselves. And the funny thing is I have a radar and I can tell when people are not being themselves. So that makes it even worse. Like, that's a big red flag to me, y'all. I don't care. Like, don't pretend like you know something that you don't. We all are ignorant to something in this world. So there's no need to pretend like you know things when you really don't. That's one of my red flags. That may not be a red flag for somebody else. You just have to do what works for you, right? Okay, green flags. Green flags are those things that make you feel like, okay, maybe. Those things that I say check your boxes. Those are green flags. Those are subjective as well. You know, all of us want different things. I said all of that to say this. This is how I'm going to close out, and this is what I want you guys to think about. Think about what are your red flags and what are your green flags. If you think about what are your red flags and what are your green flags, that's the first step for you to figure out what type of person you want to date or what type of person you want to be in a partnership with. You have to know what you want before you jump into something. You know what I mean? And also, you have to be ready for that type of partner, because one thing that I have found is maybe 5 years ago, I'm asking for a certain type of partner, but I was not ready for that type of partner. That's why I was attracting all of these like weird, you know, things that I did not want in my life because I was not ready. You know, now I can tell I'm a little bit ready because I have people, you know, asking me out on dates and stuff, and I'm just like, no. Now it's funny because when you're so used to like being disappointed, you're just like, whatever, you know, this is nothing. And I don't mean to get in that type of attitude or that type of, you know, mentality, but everything happens for a reason. Maybe I don't need to worry about that right now. I have other stuff to worry about. But I said all this to say this. Know what you want. And once you know what you want, go after it. So, babies, that's my time. I'm so happy you tuned in to episode 2 of Quoted by Tiff. I'll see you next time.